There's so much that can be said about this man. He's been in everything from Murder, She Wrote all the way up to Stargate, of course. So please welcome the wonderful and talented benpol11.
Do we have any Farscape fans here? Well, since it is my first time at a convention in Canada, we have to do this. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! That never gets old. Oh, what a good way to start a day. I guess some of you are just getting up, right? Because I heard there was Klingon karaoke.
Pretend much still.
Great. So my name's Ben Browder. I was in Murder, She Wrote. Which makes for horrible flashbacks. When I did that, they wanted to do something interesting with the hair, so they kind of wanted to do a flat top. Don't go online and look for that, all right? That's the major issue that I have every time I appear anywhere is, what is my hair going to look like? I have no idea what it's doing today. I haven't had a haircut in, well, I haven't had someone else cut my hair, I think, since I left Stargate. and I went to shoot a film in Dallas. Just got back the day before I came here, and I was like, so you guys want to cut my hair? We'll give you free haircut. That's the only reason I act, is for the free haircut. No, your hair looks great. No, it doesn't. It works. So I have no idea what it's doing. Oh, good. Yeah, thanks. It's a major concern for me. So anyway, this is my first convention in Canada. It's not my first time in Canada because obviously Stargate is a Canadian product, a very brilliant Canadian product. So I'm familiar with a few quirks of your country. Yeah, like Tim Hortons. Let's go get some really good coffee. Okay, the donuts are good. So, anyway, thank you so much for having me here. I'm really, really happy to be back in Canada. Hopefully the next time I'm back we'll be shooting more Stargate.
Yeah.
It is a real pleasure to be here. To catch you up to date, just because people will say, usually, well, what do you have going on next? On Monday, I'll be looking for work. But I did just finish shooting a low-budget film in Dallas called Bad Kids Go to Hell, which is based on a graphic novel comic book. And then there were a great group of youngsters that were on the set. And then when I say youngsters, I'm going old enough to be all of your father. I might be, because that kid kind of looks like me. They were a great group, but they do start to, when you work with someone who is 19 years old, and you're 49, you start to feel like the really old man on set. Wow, but I had a great time doing that. I don't know when it's going to be out. I don't know where it's going to be released. So just stop that question. And then I have a project which is in development, which is called Not for Hire, which, again, we haven't shot it. I'm hoping we're going to shoot it in the next 6 months, but like any future project that an actor has until the check is cleared and until it's actually coming to somewhere near you, I don't have a lot to say about that. So my next thing is, you can ask me, how are you going to get your next job? Which would put me right in line with about 20% of my country at the moment. Well, no, that's probably about right. Other than that, catching up, the last appearance that I had, which was in Dragon Con, which is in Atlanta, which is a huge event. If you can make it, it's a lot of fun. My last year has kind of been like this, and I don't want to be a downer about it. I lost my father to cancer just a year ago. On my stage appearance at Dragon Con, I got a call the night before, and my manager of 20 years had died of cancer that night.
Ooh.
Yeah. I got back from Dragon Con, and then I went to Farscape Convention, which I do on a yearly basis. And I was on stage, and people said, "So what's going on with you?" And you sort of humming and hawing. And my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer about 2-3 weeks before we were on stage, and she was on stage, and she didn't want anybody to know. So that's in a short capsule of my last year. Well, let me down it, because my wife is good, but something which is this big can completely change your life. I'm talking about something the size between a pea and a marble, and she got it early mammograms. 47 years old, stage 1, done the chemo, done the radiation, done the surgery, and your life changes on these little nuggets. And to be on the upside about it, the last year has made me more appreciative of everything. It's a tremendous gift that I have been given to know what is important, or to find out what is really important. The people around you, the people that you care for. I heard somewhere that in talking about what's important, that it's very, very important to many people that there would be someone that would die for them. But even more important is that there is someone you would die for. And the last year has taught me how important that is. And as a clumsy segue, when I come to these things, and it's tremendous fun for me, but the most important thing for me is not to stand here and be seen. The most important thing for me is to see you, and to meet you, and to hear your stories, and to get to see the people that, in a very distant way, Farscape, Stargate, and Murder, She Wrote. Is how it has touched their lives. So, what I'd like to say before we go to questions is thank you. Thank you for being a part of Not my usual opening. Next time I'll wear the rabbit suit again. That one's worth looking at on the internet. Okay, apparently we're going to take questions, or I'm going to take questions. I guess I'm in charge. I've got the mic.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to Toronto.
Thank you, Mr. Toronto. I appreciate that.
And,
by the way, I got your autograph. Absolutely. Yes, I have Leonard Nimoy's autograph.
All right. Just asked you, I started watching Farscape, and it got to be, I don't forget what year it was, but it got to be very, I found anyway, very violent, like a lot more violent when it started. And I just wondered, did you sense that, or was, I mean...
I don't know that it got more violent. I think it certainly got darker.
Yeah.
I think it got darker, and it veered away from being as perhaps kid-friendly and family-friendly. But part of that was the influence of the Australians. I don't know. Oh, we shot in Australia, and those people go to places you wouldn't believe. No, I think it was basically that the writing staff, and I had asked the question myself, I said, realistically, in this situation, how sane and normal is your life going to be? And it was always, it was a ship of escaping prisoners. It was, it was an inherently violent episode. The peacekeepers were sort of inherently violent. And I think it just kind of went more that direction. Do I think there's times where we kind of got on the ragged edge of that? Yeah. Was that for everybody? No. But it was the story that the writers felt was appropriate.
Okay, my second question is, you did a great job in Stargate, by the way. I was sorry to see Mr. Anderson go there, but...
I've heard that before.
You did a great job.
No, it's okay.
You did a great job. No, you did a great job.
I'm not already I know that.
I just wondered, did he just not want to do it anymore? Or?
You have to ask Rick that question. He lives over the road from me, and I just went down and kneecapped him. I was taking that violent Farscape streak. I just went over and I beat him up. And he went, I can't make it back up to Vancouver. I can't. I've got an injury. When I took over, after I kneecapped him, I made a call and said, hey, I'm coming up. Rick's done. He's old, he can't move no more. It was a very happy experience for me to go up, and Rick's a fun guy, he's a great guy. I've actually bunked with Rick in the Arctic, which is an experience all unto itself. He doesn't actually sleep. But he does talk in his sleep. And he said, I just don't want to do Stargate anymore. It's too freaking cold, man. Hello. Hi.
Your episode that you wrote of Farscape was amazing. If you could write an episode for any TV series, what would you like to write for? And if you've ever thought about that, what kind of story would you like to do? Going Homer.
Going Homer is another project which was in development in sci-fi, which is now living in development hell. It's down there percolating. What would I like? Which TV show that is currently on would I like to write for? The shows that I've loved on TV, other than science fiction shows, I loved Friday Night Lights. I've said it repeatedly. It airs. It's done. It's gone. It was a great show that got canceled. I would love to write for the next version of Firefly. I actually think I'm capable of writing for Doctor Who. Seriously, because it's right in line with my sensibilities. I think Mad Men is amazing. I don't know that I could write it, but I love that show. If I was going to pick one that I thought would suit my sensibilities, it would probably be Doctor Who.
If you could please settle a very long and often violent dispute between a friend and I, if you could answer definitively, is Stargate better than Farscape?
Is Farscape better than Stargate? Stargate? No. That does not preclude that they're the same. I have to call it a draw, don't I? Very politically correct. Like Farscape, I loved with all of my heart, and I was there from the beginning. It is, it's like, I lived, breathed, and slept Farscape for 5 years. So, you know, I do not have an objective view about that in any way, shape, or form. Stargate was someone else's baby before it was mine. It was a bit like an adopted child. And whereas no parent likes to admit they have favorites, I guess they don't. Next question.
Very well put, Michael. Could you tell us about your character on Party of Five? I really love that show.
Did you? Okay, my character on Party of Five was Neb Campbell, when Julia was her too old to be her boyfriend. They had Jeremy London, they had that relationship, and Jeremy had gone off to do something else, so they wanted to fill the time, so they gave Julia an older boyfriend. So, yeah, it was a great job. Neb Campbell's a really sweet girl, and she's very attractive. While I was doing it, my wife was pregnant out to here. And, no. So I would spend all day long sort of holding hands with Neb Campbell. And then I would go home at night and she'd say, "How was your day at work?" It was terrible. It was awful. That was a sweetheart. What? So anyway, look, that was a fun show. I mean, what a great cast. You had Neb, and you had Matthew Fox and Scott Wolf and Love Hewitt. And it was a really talented young cast. It was good writing. It was great production value, and it was an enjoyable job. And boy, did I need the job when I got that one. Right before I got that job, this is how life goes for actors. I had one child and another one on the way, and I had a 15-year-old Honda, which was absolutely on its last legs. Everything that could be replaced had been replaced, and it was close to dying. And I had my little daughter at the time, and I think she was 3. And we had come home from play school and we're going back out to go to the park. It's broad daylight in LA, and I look and where's the car? It's broad day. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, no car. And then I said, "Baby, I don't know that we can go to the park right now." "Well, I want to go to the park." "Yeah, well, we don't, the car's not here." "Well, where's the car?" "Where's the car, Daddy?" "Someone took the car." "Well, why would someone take a car? I want to go to the park." So, my wife was away at the time, so there I was, and I had no money, no car, one kid, another kid on the way, and literally could not afford to buy a car. And they had to rent a car. So there I was stuck with renting a car. We had one vehicle for the whole household. In Los Angeles, which as you understand, you can't even get a loaf of bread without a car. So when Party of Five came along, wow, what an amazing thing. All I could think of was, I have a paycheck. It's okay for the baby to be born. Don't come out till Daddy's got a job. Just stay in there. Which that one did. When he came out, he was like 10 pounds. Got born, and Doc goes, "That's a big baby!" Like holding up a dish. Weigh this thing and then take it in for the weigh, and you won the baby tournament. Yeah, Party of Five was fun. And I worked with that cat.
Could you tell us about the untold story of Charlie's Angels, the TV film you did?
Oh, all I remember about that was Tricia Helfer. Wow, I worked with some good actors. That was actually one of Tricia's first jobs. She'd been modeling. Have you seen the portfolio online? No, actually, the audition for Charlie's Angels was kind of interesting because I was looking for lead majors. And, yeah, you know, so I kind of listened to it, and of course I grew up on the $6 Million Man. You gotta be kidding me. Lee Majors and $6 Million. So I go in to do the audition. I'm ready to be Lee Majors, you know. My hair was just the right length. It's all about hair anyway, right? I had the sideburns. I was totally 70s. I go in, and we go to do the reading. And the scenes are like, I love you so much, baby. You just, you know, I love you so much, baby. I can't live without you. It was this really intimate Lee Majors, Farrah Fawcett dialogue going on. And the casting director was like 48-year-old fat balding man that I was reading with.
Oh!
Baby, it's you and me right here. 48. Baby, I love you so much. This is the most difficult audition in my life. I guess I couldn't find another Lee Majors. So yeah, I got to work with Trish. She's great. And, you know, for those who don't know who Trish Helfer is, watch Battlestar Galactica. She's a fairly attractive lady. She also was just incredibly sweet, and because she was new to it, she was learning all the time. She's just very, very smart, which is, you know, which is a blessing.
Thank you, and we look forward to Not for Hiring.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hi, Ben. Welcome back to the Great White North.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to say a comment and a question. I hope you and your wife and your family have long, happy, healthy lives.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing. Besides yourself on Farscape, you were one of my favorite characters. But my second favorite character was Pilot.
Yes.
How was he operating?
How is Pilot operating?
How was that done? Was there an actor inside something?
There is actually one actor standing inside of Pilot. Okay? There are 4 actors, puppeteers, working each individual arm. So one puppeteer for each individual arm. The mouth of Pilot is worked by one puppeteer. The eyes are worked by another. And then there's another puppeteer who helps with the gimbal to move Pilot. So basically 7 people to operate it.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, Ben. Great to see you here.
Thank you.
Do you remember what your feelings were when Farscape ended so badly?
Do you mean after the miniseries or after the cancellation of the series?
The series itself.
Oh, when the series got canceled?
That last episode.
Well, we found, yeah, we only found out, Farscape originally had been picked up for 2 seasons, 4 and 5, so everyone anticipated that. But literally 2 weeks before the end of season 4, Brian Henson came down to Australia, and Brian runs the Henson Company, which is the producer of Farscape, and pulled me aside one day and said, we're going to be having a problem with the finances. Which is the first that anybody had heard of it. But what had happened with Farscape was that the parent company that had bought the Henson Company, which was a German company, had made a, well basically, I think what happened was the CEO embezzled a lot of money. And they had a lot of red ink. So they had purchased the rights to Formula One, and they wanted to get out of, they basically wanted to get out of the contract. And so they were having trouble, and sci-fi in standard negotiating, when you go to later seasons, it's standard for an American company to renegotiate the contract. So the parent company was going, we want to get rid of all red ink, and every television show and film initially is red ink. So they're going, we've got to get rid of this stuff. Well, sci-fi was unaware of this, and sci-fi said, we need to renegotiate. And the Germans went, you're not picking up the contract. And they went, no, we're not. Great! Boom. Done. And so it was 2 weeks before the end of our season, and it was one of those just bad timings, which was the title of the last episode, Bad Timing. And part of that timing, bad timing, the reason they ended up calling it that, because that wasn't the original title, was because the cancellation was almost literally a case of bad timing. If it had happened 2 months earlier, or if it happened 2 months later with regards to the parent company, then there would have been a fifth season.
That had to have been the worst last episode of any series. And I'm older than you are.
It left a lot of people screaming.
Oh my God.
So that it had its, it did what it was supposed to do. But they would have had a week to rewrite and try to tie everything up. And if they'd done that, there probably would have been no miniseries. So, yeah.